Hello, everyone, and welcome to GodSaw's Turnbuckle, the wrestling podcast I run over here on YouTube.com. In this video, I wanted to talk about a subject I typically don't talk about, especially during reviews or anything like that for any of the TV shows. I know I haven't done one over here on the channel. The TV show reviews are going to probably be coming here very soon in the terms of a Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, AEW, anything like that. Will be coming down the line. But one thing that I've done in the past was reviewing a lot of the TV shows, or the shows that air on television, in that sense. Like I said, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, I've done Impact reviews in the past, anything that I've really watched. Like I said, looking to bring those back. But one of the things I've never really talked about, and the reason why I don't talk about this during especially a review area, is because for a review of a television show, it means absolutely nothing to me. And the thing is TV ratings. The reason why I don't talk about it is because it means, again, literally nothing to the quality of the show that I've just watched, whether it was good, bad, indifferent, anything to go along with that. So it literally means nothing to me on that side of it. But the one thing that we've definitely been hearing a lot about, especially since the quote-unquote season premieres for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, also the aspect of the quote-unquote Wednesday Night War as well, as a lot of fans are wanting to dub it at this point in time, it really, I don't think fully is there yet on that side of everything, has been the television ratings. And the one big trend that you really got to be looking out at least throughout the first 5 weeks of this, has been the factor that pretty much every single week, with the exception, I think, of one week of Monday Night Raw where they went up, ratings have pretty much gone down across the board. Now, granted, this week and last week's Friday Night SmackDown, which was extremely alarming numbers because SmackDown got moved over to FS1, and guess what? It went under 1 million viewers. That's not a good thing. That's definitely not a good thing there on that side of it. But there are some factors that do go along with that, as that one, FS1 in the terms of a Fox Sports area is not like it's not like the Fox Sports local channels. The Fox Sports local channels are a little bit more out there, and they also show the local teams, everything like that, whether it be basketball, hockey, or baseball to go along with it. Generally, the regular season games for those happen over there on those channels. FS1 is completely different and is actually viewed by a lot less people. So the factor that went under 1 million viewers, to an honest degree, I'm not shocked about in the terms of that, on that side of everything. I think this SmackDown that's going to be airing tonight, I'm doing this on a Friday, that is right before the SmackDown that airs on November 1st. So I think that's going to be a lot more telling of where they're at when it comes towards being on Fox, everything like that, especially with the advertisement that Fox has definitely put behind it. Also, I kind of give a little bit of leeway this week due to, especially for the Wednesday night stuff, towards AEW and NXT, which AEW dropped under 800,000 viewers and NXT dropped under 600,000 viewers at this for this particular week. And that's been the more telling trend, is that AEW and NXT have gone down every single week. Same with SmackDown to go along with it. Now, more than likely, SmackDown is going to have higher viewership than they did last week because, well, being on FS1 versus Fox, it's two different things to go along with it. One of the reasons why I kind of give a little bit of leeway on the downtrend this week, but it's definitely been the same for all weeks on the side for the Wednesday night programs, is definitely because they went up against Game 7 of the World Series. Let's be fair, the Game 7 of the World Series got 23 million viewers. So it probably did take some of those viewers away from the AEW or from NXT to go along with it. It will also be interesting to see with the replays and everything like that, how AEW's replay did, or I think even NXT might have had a replay right afterwards. Now, I live in an area where I get West Coast feeds on those ones, so I kind of tuned into the wrestling shows after the World Series. So yes, I decided to watch the World Series on that particular one and start tuning in towards the other shows after the fact on that one, but also ended out watching them on DVR to go along with it. So that's another thing that really plays into that is a lot of people, they take into account the factors of the they take counters into the factor of the live one. And now a lot of TV shows are also based not just off of their live performance, but based off of a 3-day and a 7-day. So there's a 3 and 7 day for DVR that count towards those particular TV ratings. Not many people ever really report on that and see what it is, because honestly, I feel like it doesn't really change the number of people that really watch the show all that much. I think it changes it at least a little bit, but not all that much. I know back in the day, Impact Wrestling really touted their 3 and 7 day numbers as well, but those were never really reported. Now, that's one of the other factors that I really go in there about. It's like, do ratings really matter? At least, do they matter to you? To the person who's generally watching, or if you're watching a wrestling podcast or anything like that? The answer to that question is no, because honestly, the TV ratings themselves don't mean really anything about the quality of the product, of whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. The TV ratings themselves are more of a telling sign of how popular something is towards that. And if people are really, because I've listened to podcasts where they talk about the ratings, and these are the two things that I really take from those. One of those is they're really just doing it for a news piece. They're just putting it out there as a news piece. Maybe there's a brief opinion about it or anything to go along with it. And I've seen that on podcasts. But the other aspect that I've seen on podcasts, and I really don't like this one, and it kind of turns me away from some of those ones to listen to. I'm not going to call any of them out. I'll kind of let you figure that out for your own if you listen to other podcasts, everything to go along with it, is that they usually use a down rating to tell their narrative. And basically make that rating be like their justification of a narrative, if they're just going to be negative or positive. I've seen that in the same sense when the rating is up. It's like, oh, that's a positive thing and everything to go along with it. And that's the narrative they want to do is completely positive, no matter what. So they really only talk about the ratings when they're up, not down. But also vice versa for people who are overly negative all the time in the terms of their podcast. They only talk when the ratings are down, not up, to go along with it. Now, here's the main aspect of this. The one reason why I definitely feel like television ratings are down is yes, the product. To go along with it. What you are seeing, yes, has high quality visuals, and honestly, in certain cases, is very good in the terms of the in-ring action. I think in some cases is very lacking in the terms of the particular stories that are being told to go along with it, and based off of the narrative of what people feel like about professional wrestling. It's not as cool as it used to be. Let's be fair on that. Obviously, I feel like the in-ring product, especially nowadays, is higher than it's ever been. Whether I've watched New Japan, NWA Power now. Now we have NWA Power on YouTube, and that's getting pretty decent viewership over there. Also, AEW coming out on there, and of course there's AEW Dark that airs on Tuesdays. And like I said, New Japan or WWE, everything that I've really watched, I feel like the in-ring product is extremely well. Some are definitely a lot better at telling their stories than others to go along with it. I feel like New Japan is probably one of the better areas of telling their story in the terms of an in-ring side. You don't necessarily always get a narrative that's always talking. WWE is actually decent when they actually do something decent, which I'll be fair with. Some of their stuff is really good in the terms of storytelling. Some of their stuff's really bad. They've been kind of wishy-washy recently. Almost like how their booking's been. Like the 50-50 booking, it's kind of funny to really say that their booking in the terms of storylines have been about 50-50. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Some of it's great, some of it's absolutely atrocious to go along with it. And that's where I really feel a lot of it has been going. The storylines themselves don't attract the people that they used to. Now, obviously, they still can attract celebrities and everything like that because they're the biggest wrestling company out there on that side of everything. They're the biggest one, so they attract the celebrities. Obviously, AEW's, they're coming into their own. There's stuff that I enjoy about AEW. There's stuff that I don't enjoy as well at this point in time. Same goes for NXT. I've been a big fan of NXT's for a long time. There's stuff over on USA. A lot of it's been really good. There's some that's not so great in there. AEW again has been really good in most cases. But there's also a lot of stuff that's not really good as well on that side of everything. But they're also a growing company to go along with it. They're literally just getting started. NXT's been around for quite some time on that side of everything. So got to be fully fair on that one. I'm still on that quote unquote 3-month trial of AEW. Whenever I watch a new wrestling product, I usually give it 3 months. To pull me in. Now, obviously, I've watched the AEW pay-per-views, everything like that leading into the television show, but the difference between the pay-per-views and a television show are two different things. So that is the main aspect behind it at this point in time. And like I said, also why I don't feel like ratings matter all that much to me when it comes to talking about that during a review. I've seen people bring that stuff up during reviews that they do the next day. It's like all the TV ratings are out along with that, and they don't really use it like a news piece. Now, I've also seen it used as just a news piece. It's like, hey, it's been down, and then they maybe you get some kind of an opinion there, but they don't use it as their narrative towards a review of a show. I've seen that aspect as well. And that's the main thing that irks me, is when someone is going to use that news piece to say how they feel and use this as justification on how they feel about a show, whether negatively or positively, both ways, to go along with it. Like, oh, look, ratings were up this week, and I absolutely thought this was a great show. It deserved a high rating or something like that. Or it's like, oh, this show was crap and it deserved the low rating that it got on that particular one. That's the things that really irk me on there, and I don't feel like they really matter in the terms of the quality of the product. It's more of a telling sign of how popular something is at this point in time, which wrestling in general is more niche than it used to be. It went from super high popularity during the early Hogan times down to more niche. Attitude Era became super popular, and guess what? Over that time, that popularity just dwindled and dwindled and dwindled and dwindled, and again, it's become a niche thing. Now, is there a potential for something on that side to go make it go back up? Who knows on that particular one? But it's something I really kind of wanted to get off my chest for quite some time, and almost in a pseudo rant as I'm taking a look at the time frame here. I'm at about 14 minutes. Probably went a little bit longer than I was expecting, but whatever. I've been kind of wanting to get this off my chest for quite some time. And yeah, that's pretty much everything there. It's just one of those things that I get really irked when I see it more as somebody trying to tell their narrative versus just using what TV ratings are. They're news. They're news. If I talk about TV ratings in podcasts down the line, it's a news piece. That's all it's going to be about. It's like, hey, And I may even do it after the reviews to go along with it. So it's like, hey, ratings were up this week, ratings were down, this, that, whatever. It will be simply a news piece whenever you hear it from me. And I kind of wanted to get that out there as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing more videos like this down the line. I'm also looking to bring more reviews back to the channel. I've been trying to start this whole aspect of GodSaw's Turnbuckle being its own separate channel for a little while now. I've taken a few weeks off of doing videos for personal reasons. I'm going to be looking to bring more videos in, and then we're going to start trying to bring back in reviews of weekly television shows, also pay-per-views down the line to go along with it. I more than likely will have pay-per-views be starting for reviews here very soon versus the TV shows. And again, that's just for other particulars that I may save for a later period of time. But don't worry, we're going to be starting some more content down here on the channel. If you like the content that you're seeing at this point in time, give it a like, a share, subscribe, anything that you could possibly do with that one. So peace out, take care, and have a great rest of your day.